Film. This roll was already destroyed, it's fine. See, I miss film. It's like you used to open up the camera and put the film inside and then close it back up and then yeah, you're ready to take photos. Alright, well, now I've got a straight piece of film. Anyway, so, jokes aside, what do I actually like about film so much? There's so many people that's like, oh, this wishy-washy, oh, the colors are so much better, and the resolution is technically better, which I sort of agree with. Yes, the colors do look nice, and the grain is interesting, I guess, but I think there's much more to film than what meets the eye, if you will, because there's a lot to not like about film. For example, with this particular roll of film, this is 12 exposures, and then you gotta develop it for like a lot of money. There's a lot of inconvenience, and some of that is fun. Like, yeah, it's nice to open the back and hear all these clicky sounds. This doesn't work with this camera anymore. Like, sure, it's nice to open up the camera and hear all the clicky sounds and get to wind the film and stuff. I really do genuinely like the tactile experience. But that's what everyone says when they're talking about why they like film. There's also the fact that when you have only this limited number of rolls for a very expensive price, you really have to think about your photos and what you actually want to spend money on to have a photo of. Like, oh, do I really want a picture of the lamp that is on my camera as I'm filming? With digital, you don't really have to think. You're just snapping photos carelessly. And it just doesn't feel as genuine, I guess. Personally, I really don't have that much money to spend. Honestly, this 3-pack of Fujifilm from Walmart was a big hit to my budget. I don't have money, so that adds an extra bit of weight to each photo that just adds some purpose to the photos. Having to spend money for each photo adds purpose to it. And also, most film cameras have quite the aesthetic to them, visually. Like, just look at my A1, and then look at this admittedly very old DSLR. It looks like it was molded out of clay, and the experience is not anywhere near as nice to use. Like, it does sound pretty nice, I'll have to admit. It's like using a vintage computer. Like, No, you're not gonna daily drive this. Of course not. This isn't practical in any way. You're not gonna send an email through a Macintosh SE. Well, actually, you might. I'm not sure. You're not gonna send an email through my TI-99/4A that I have over there. Maybe I'll do a video on that someday. I tried once. It was terrible. What are you? Should I open it? I want to open it. Oh, adventures! Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay, maybe you unscrew that to put on an auto winder. And this falls really pretty much under the nice sounds and experiences, but I really love how these things are just how they're built, how they work. I myself am really interested in mechanics and mechanical engineering and whatnot. So just cameras, old film cameras are perfect. They're full of clockwork inside them, and I love it. And it's interesting to see how cameras have little differences between them. And it's fun to get out and try some different pieces of glass, like this, which is my first fixed aperture lens from the Minolta camera that I still have not finished the roll on. Jeez, I need to finish that. And it's both a really expensive hobby and a really cheap hobby, because you can collect some interesting cameras for pretty dang cheap off of eBay, but there's also some pretty high-end ones and popular ones that are really expensive, and that's interesting. Like, you can dip your toes in with some cameras like an Olympus pen, which is only about $100, and then you can get a little farther in, like with this A1, and you know, experiment with some more manual and more professional sort of things, and then something like this, my Minolta one, which is more practical but gives you all the same settings and is still film, and then maybe you can get into rangefinder cameras. It's just a whole rabbit hole of fun. And with digital, there's some of that. Like, you can get a little point and shoot like this guy, and then dip your toes in a little farther with some weird quirky thing like my twisty camera, and then some old piece of DSLR equipment, and then some you know, anyway, I don't really have much more to say, so bye. Actually, wait, yes I do. Now, I already talked about this, but when you have to pay for each photo, well, that gets expensive. It's like $1 a photo. And a lot of people are complaining that people think, oh, this photo's just good because it's on film. But how I see it, you take that photo that seems uninteresting if it was on digital, and the photo is uninteresting, but what's interesting is trying to figure out why you took that photo. They took that photo for a reason, because they were willing to spend money on it. You're willing to basically spend $1 for a picture of your feet. So obviously that must mean something, so that adds another extra layer of purpose onto it. So here's a little sneak peek at an upcoming video. The contrast is pretty bad because I've got lots of extra light coming in. So let's just turn this off and be able to just about see what's going on over here.